Obviously, it's always nice to win senior night game. You know, we had a lot of seniors that were able to step out on the court, so this night was all about them. And to be able to finish the final Big Ten game at home with a win is always something special. But it's not just about the seniors. Just definitely want to take time to thank all the fans that have continued to come out and support us throughout this unique and challenging year. A lot of people that also work in this Xfinity Center on game days that make it so special play a big role. So we're always appreciative of their efforts. We knew going into the ball game that Battle and Willis were going to be extremely tough. I didn't know they were going to be 60 points tough, to be honest with you, but those guys shot the lights out, made some big-time shots. I thought it was kind of fitting for Eric to make a couple plays for us down the stretch to kind of close it out, hit some big-time threes. I thought Hakeem was outstanding, efficient once again with how he played. And, I thought we got contributions from our big guys. Q and Julian were really efficient as well when we got the ball to them. And I think those guys kind of got it going for us because once we established the inside presence, they changed their defenses, did some different things, and started coming in and getting drawn into the basketball, and then we could throw it out and hit open shots or get a drive to the basket.
You guys outscored them 46-16 in the paint. I mean, was that kind of an emphasis that you wanted to tackle? It was kind of like you kind of seen it throughout the game.
That's always an emphasis for us, paint touches by the pass or by the dribble. We feel like when we get our paint touches, we're able to get to the bonus and get to the free throw line. And, today, they're missing their starting center. I don't know why he was out, but he was not in the ball game. And we definitely talked about making sure that the ball got to the paint.
What specifically made Battle so hard to guard and kind of have this night of his life type game?
Well, he's a talented basketball player, one. And when we did make a mistake, he made us pay for it. And he made some tough shots. So that's kind of a recipe for a big night, especially knowing when you're kind of down the body, if you will. And, he's familiar with this area. He was at George Washington. So he came back and shot it really well. He made more threes than our whole team. So he shot it really well.
It was a great team basketball tonight. 5 people, almost 6, scored double digits. What does it mean as a coach just to have that sort of contribution from all of your players?
Well, that's our team. Throughout our league play, we have 4 guys in the double figures, and that's how we have to play. We have to have great balance. We have to share basketball, and that's a fun way to coach as a staff because guys know that when the ball moves, we want you to be aggressive in your opportunities, be ready on the catch, but we want you to take good shots.
Hey, Coach, how would you evaluate Hakeem Hart's performance today?
Great. Yeah. I just talked about it. I mean, he made big-time shots for us down the stretch, got to the free throw line, defensively, able to guard multiple players. Hakeem is somebody that does it all for us. And, jack of all trades is not an appropriate adjective because he's a lot more than that. But he checks a lot of boxes for us.
I wanted to ask about Dante Scott. He looked good on the court during the game, but earlier, like during warm-ups, he looked like slow, like his hip was kind of bothering him. Do you know anything about that? Or
he's too young for that to be bothering him, man. I tell those guys all the time, I switch knees with anybody. Yeah. Knees hurt, I'll switch with you. You can take mine. No, this time of year, a lot of guys are banged up, and once you get loose, you get your momentum going, you feed off the crowd, the energy of your teammates, you're ready to go.
Coach, talk a little bit about Eric Ayala. He also had 9 rebounds tonight. What can you say about maybe not his scoring, but what else he was able to do on the floor?
Well, he was disappointed he didn't get a double-double. I think he coming into this game, that was a goal of his, so he came up 1 rebound short. But, Eric did a really good job of boxing out and going to get rebounds for us. He got some really big-time rebounds in traffic. Eric is a player that he's worn a lot of different hats while he's been here. And, this year is probably the most challenging role that he's ever had from the standpoint of every night out, for the most part, he gets the other team's best defender. And, last year I think that probably went to Wiggins. And, Eric had the second or third defender on him. And so, this year he's had to make some adjustments to how he plays based upon how teams are scouting and guarding him.
Coach, there were a couple of plays where Fats was guarding Jamison Battle, and crazy shot might have gone in, and he didn't look too happy about it. What do you kind of do as a coach to get him back in the right mindset after something like that happens to him?
Well, once you let a guy get going, that's what happens. That's what happens, and he was going. He knocked in a couple shots that probably looked a little awkward, but it was a result that he wanted. It went in the basket. And when you get a hot hand like that, you have a tendency to make shots like that. You have a tendency to take a few more heat check shots, if you will, because you're feeling it. So at that point, it's okay to say good defense, better offense. That's what happens. And we just want to make sure he continued to take contested shots.
Danny, second straight game you guys have had that finishing kick, I think 14-5 over the last 2.5 minutes. How encouraging is that moving forward to be able to, put away teams with that knockout punch late?
Well, I think that gives us a little bit more confidence as we continue to move through the end of this season and into the tournament. And it's contributions from a lot of different guys. At the end, I think we went, you guys can probably quote it better than me, but I think it's 3 or 4 minutes where we didn't score for a little bit against that matchup, 1-3-1, 2, whatever it was. We struggled against it. And then Houghton knocks down a big shot. I think Eric hits one in the corner. And, we're able to get an offensive rebound from Dante and figure out a way to score. So, but whenever you have that type of balance across the team, I just think it bodes well across the board for the confidence of everyone.
Beginning of the year, Fats kind of got off to a slow start, just kind of getting acclimated to a new role. And over the past few games, he's played a lot better, and you guys have played a lot better as a result. What is, his hot shooting, I guess, the past few games has kind of given you guys?
Well, for me, I kind of disagree with you from the standpoint of Fats did a tremendous job all year in drawing fouls and getting us to the free throw line. Probably not making shots at the clip that he made them at before, but this is also a different level of athleticism, a different length of basketball player, if you will, at the rim, and he's made his adjustments. He's shooting the ball very confidently right now, and, the thing for me is I like his in-between game. I think that in-between game really puts people in a tough spot. And when he's knocking down the 3 ball and he's also getting to the rim, he scored at all 3 levels, and that's a really hard cover. But I think, when he gets to the rim and he makes that pull-up jump shot, he's going to have a chance to shoot more threes because teams are going to space him more because they know that he can go past them.
Coach, I'm guessing you were happy to have the opportunity to put Zuba in at the end of the game. What did that mean to you, and what did that mean to him, that moment when the crowd went nuts?
Sometimes there are not a lot of words that you can use to describe certain situations. And, every day that, we come in here, you see the different guys on the team, and, hey, how'd your day go? Hey, what's going on? How are you? Da-da-da-da. And you say something to Pablo, and Pablo looks at you differently. Pablo is looking at his phone or whatever device that he's looking at, and he's seeing a lot of red glares in the sky. He's seeing a lot of buildings crumble. He's seeing a lot more and going through a lot more than anybody I've ever coached. So, it's kind of hard to put into words what it is other than, we're here to support you. And, we hope and pray that everything is going as best as possible for you and your family.
It seemed like Julian kind of took advantage of their center being out tonight, 12 points, 4 offensive boards. But can you talk about how he's grown over the course of the year playing in the Big Ten with some of the best bigs in the country?
Julian has gotten better. No question about that from where he started from. He's always been a willing battler to go out there and compete. He had to do a better job. This is coach speak now and big man talk of keeping himself out of foul trouble, harm's way, playing defense with his hands up in the air, higher hands contesting shots opposed to lower hands and reaching. But he's, for a freshman, the guys that he's battled up against in this league, and gone out there and, I mean, he hadn't dominated, but he's held his own to a certain extent for a certain amount of minutes, so that's always encouraging. It should give him a lot of confidence too, and he's just scratching the surface of how good he can be.